Under the enchanted flames, Kate, a wolfless outcast, trips and stumbles into the Alpha King's arms at the Veilfire festival, her touch silencing his cursed beast and the stunned pack. As whispers of treason rise, her hidden empathy becomes their only hope. The Veilfire festival pulsed with life in Bayou Veil's heart, a clearing aglow with enchanted flames, casting golden flickers across humid air thick with jazz and the musky scent of wolves. Kate stood at the edge, her thin festival gown clinging to her skin, its coarse weave a reminder of her place, always outside, never within. The Wolfscar pack reveled, their laughter and clinking goblets a stark contrast to her solitude, her wolfless shame a silent scream. Her father, an elder, stood tall among the pack's elite, his gaze slicing through the crowd to pin her with cold disdain, while her sister, Leora, radiant in her silver wolf's aura, basked in praise for her latest hunt. Kate's empathetic gift, which soothed frightened creatures, was a useless quirk here, mocked as a sign of her brokenness. She lowered her eyes to the trampled earth where tiny moon petal flowers pushed through the dirt, their resilience mirroring her own. Years of whispers, wolfless, barren, had scarred her heart, yet she endured, her quiet strength unnoticed. Her gift stirred faintly, calming a nearby hound's restless growl, but the pack saw only her lack, not her power. Kate's chest ached with the weight of her father's rejection, his pride reserved for Leora, the daughter who embodied the pack's ideals. "Still hiding, little sister?" Leora's voice was warm, but laced with pity, a blade Kate knew too well. She forced a smile, her voice soft. "Just breathing the night air, Leora. Congratulations on your hunt." Leora's eyes softened, but her words stung. "Father wishes you'd try harder." Kate's throat tightened. The lie of effort tasted bitter. She'd begged the moon for her wolf, to no avail.
A hush fell over the Veilfire festival, the jazz faltering as a wave of raw power rolled through the clearing, prickling Kate's skin like a storm's edge. King Samuel, the Alpha King, emerged from the bayou's mist, his presence a vortex of dominance that silenced every wolf from Alpha to Omega. Clad in black leather that drank the enchanted flame's light, he moved like a predator, his broad shoulders and towering frame dwarfing the crowd. Whispers of his torment, the Obsidian Claw, an artifact that fractured his spirit into a shadow beast, followed him, a legend of rage and isolation. Kate's sympathy caught a flicker of his pain, a caged agony that mirrored her own, though he was a king and she a nothing. Every instinct screamed for her to bow, her body trembling under the weight of his aura, yet she risked a glance. His dark eyes, cold and unyielding, swept the crowd, but beneath their glacial surface she sensed a raw, leashed suffering. The pack parted, their heads lowered, as Samuel's beta, Lee, trailed him, his grim face scanning for threats. The festival's vibrancy dimmed, the air thick with anticipation, the flames casting long shadows across the humid earth. Lord Clinton, Samuel's uncle and a Wolfscar elder, stepped forward, his voice dripping with ambition. "Your Majesty, we are honored by your presence." Samuel's gaze didn't waver, his silence a dismissal that stripped Clinton's deference bare. Kate's heart pounded, her empathy resonating with Samuel's torment, a shared isolation that felt impossibly intimate. She clutched her gown, the coarse fabric grounding her against the overwhelming power of a king who ruled alone, his pain a secret only she seemed to feel.
The festival's tension shattered as two young alphas, emboldened by wine, clashed in a drunken display of dominance. Their shouts, "He insulted my mate! Your mate's a stray!" cut through the jazz, fists flying as the crowd surged. Kate, caught in the chaos, stumbled over a gnarled root, her balance lost in the humid press of bodies. Time slowed, her arms flailing as she fell toward the open space cleared for King Samuel, panic seizing her. To touch the Alpha King was unthinkable, a violation that could mean death. Her father's horrified glare and Leora's wide eyes flashed before her as she braced for the ground. Strong hands caught her, Samuel's grip a jolt of pine, frost, and wild masculinity that stole her breath. The festival fell silent, every eye on the wolfless Omega in the king's arms. His touch sparked a current, not pack magic, but something ancient, calming the Obsidian Claw's chaos within him. Kate opened her eyes, meeting his gaze, dark, intense, and stunned, as if he saw past her shame to her core. Her empathy thrummed, sensing his pain ease, a moment of peace in his tormented soul. The crowd held its breath, the flames flickering in the humid air. Samuel's fingers tightened briefly, protective, before he released her. "You," he growled, his voice a low rumble for her alone. "You will come with me." He turned, pulling her toward the bayou's edge. The crowd parting like water. Kate stumbled after him, her heart hammering, the weight of 1,000 stares, her father's fury, Leora's shock, burning her back as the king's command uprooted her life in an instant.
Bayou Veil's mist clung to Kate as she was led to King Samuel's antebellum mansion, a crumbling fortress of weathered brick and iron gates warded with ancient magic. Her sparse room in the royal wing overlooked murky bayou waters, the moss-draped oaks outside a haunting echo of her lost home. The Wolfscar pack's abandonment stung. Her father's silence, Leora's worried glance, confirming her as a burden shed. The mansion's cold corridors echoed with isolation, its wards humming faintly, amplifying Kate's fear of her uncertain fate. She was a prisoner, her crime unknown, her empathetic gift a useless whisper against the king's power. She spent hours at the window, the bayou's humid air heavy with the scent of decay and magic. Her gift stirred, calming a restless crow outside, but it felt futile in this alien place. The pack had called her barren, wolfless, yet she'd survived their scorn, her resilience a quiet fire. Now, in this mansion, she wondered if her gift had drawn Samuel's attention or sealed her doom. The thought of his pain, glimpsed at the festival, lingered, her empathy aching to soothe it, despite her fear. Lee, the king's beta, stood at her door, his stoic face unreadable. "The king commands you remain here. Do not leave this wing." His voice was flat, but a flicker of pity crossed his eyes before he left, his footsteps fading into the mansion's silence. Kate hugged her arms, the room's bareness a mirror to her place in the pack, empty, unwanted. Yet the memory of Samuel's touch, the brief easing of his torment, sparked a dangerous curiosity. What was she to a king whose spirit was fractured by an artifact's power?
The mansion's vast library, lined with ancient tomes and lit by a massive hearth, became Kate's refuge when Samuel summoned her to read. His voice, a low rumble, demanded she ease his tired eyes, but her empathetic gift sensed the truth. Her presence calmed the Obsidian Claw's chaos. She sat on a stool, her voice trembling at first, then steadying as she read tales of pack legends, the hearth's glow warming the humid air. Samuel's tense shoulders softened, his dark eyes closing, the artifact's torment receding under her soothing cadence. A fragile bond formed, their shared isolation a silent bridge. Kate's fear lingered. His volatile shifts could erupt at any moment, but the library's quiet offered sanctuary. Her gift, once mocked, felt potent here, each word she read a thread weaving them closer. She glimpsed his loneliness, a king caged by power and guilt, and her own rejection mirrored his. The mansion's wards hummed faintly, grounding her as she navigated this strange intimacy, her heart torn between hope and dread of his unpredictable nature. "Enough," Samuel said one evening, his voice softer, the lines of his face eased. Kate paused, her throat dry, risking a glance. He looked almost human, the artifact's shadow momentarily lifted. "You read well," he murmured, a rare acknowledgement that warmed her despite the chill of her wolfless shame. She nodded, clutching the book, the library's tomes a testament to their growing connection. Their routine solidified, hours spent in silence, or stories, the hearth's crackle a counterpoint to Bayou Veil's distant jazz. Kate's empathy sensed his pain lessening, her presence a balm. Yet she wondered how long this fragile peace could last in a mansion haunted by the claw's power.
In the mansion's hidden garden, moon-petal flowers glowed under moss-draped oaks, a sanctuary where Kate tended wilting blooms, her empathy soothing their faint distress. Lord Clinton's presence slithered into the humid air, his sneer cold as he stepped through the archway. "The king keeps his pet in a gilded cage," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "A wolfless omega, a disgrace. What spell have you cast?" Kate's chin lifted, her fear hardening into defiance. "I cast no spell, my lord. The king commands, and I obey." Her heart raced, sensing his ambition to use her against Samuel. Clinton's eyes narrowed, his words venomous. "He neglects his duties, cloistered with you. The pack's whisper of weakness, of the claw consuming him. You're a symptom of his decay." Each word was a calculated strike, meant to wound, but Kate's scars were smooth from years of scorn. She stood firm, the garden's words humming protectively. "His Majesty's health is not from me to speak of," she said, her voice steady despite the threat hanging like bayou mist. "Do not touch her!" Samuel's voice cracked like thunder, his form a lethal shadow at the garden's entrance. His eyes burned with fury, the claw's chaos barely leashed as he placed himself between Kate and Clinton. "This garden is my domain. Address me through my beta henceforth." The insult struck Clinton pale, his retreat a blow to his pride. Kate felt Samuel's rage, the claw's power flaring, and instinctively touched his arm. "My lord," she whispered, her empathy easing his tension, his eyes softening briefly. The garden's silence was heavy, the humid air thick with unspoken danger. Clinton's schemes had escalated, targeting Kate as a wedge to fracture Samuel's rule. Her role in the king's life, once a curiosity, now felt like a spark in a powder keg, threatening Bayou Veil's fragile peace.
The library's hearth cast flickering shadows across Bayou Veil's antebellum mansion, its warded walls humming as Kate read to King Samuel. Her voice wove through ancient pack tales, each word a thread pulling the Obsidian Claw's chaos from his spirit. Samuel's dark eyes softened, his scarred face less haunted, revealing a man beneath the king, lonely, burdened by guilt over his father's death tied to the claw. Kate's empathy resonated with his isolation, her own rejection by the Wolfscar pack mirroring his cage of power. The humid air carried the faint scent of bayou moss, grounding their growing trust. She sensed his pain lessen with each session, her gift no longer useless but vital, a quiet strength that steadied his fractured soul. Yet fear lingered, his shifts could erupt without warning, the claw's power unpredictable. Kate's heart wavered between hope and dread, her wolfless shame clashing with the intimacy of their shared silence. The library's tomes, heavy with pack history, seemed to whisper approval, as if their bond was fated, a prophecy unfolding in the flickering light. "You understand loss," Samuel said one night, his voice a low rasp, breaking their routine's quiet. "My pack discarded you, as mine fears me." Kate's breath caught, her fingers tightening on the book. "I've learned to endure," she replied, her voice soft but firm. His gaze held hers, a flicker of warmth piercing his torment, and she saw not a king, but a man yearning for connection. Their bond deepened, the library a haven where Kate's empathy and Samuel's vulnerability intertwined. Each session chipped away at her insecurity, her gift a bridge across their divides. Yet the mansion's wards reminded her of the Claw's lurking threat, a shadow over their fragile peace in Bayou Veil's mystical heart.
The hidden garden, tucked within the mansion's warded grounds, glowed with moon-petal flowers under mossy oaks, their faint light a balm to Kate's restless heart. Samuel led her there one humid afternoon, his gruff voice betraying a rare kindness. "Come here when you wish," he said, leaving her among the blooms, the bayou's mist curling around the iron gates. Kate knelt, her fingers brushing the flowers, her empathy soothing their wilting energy. For the first time since the Veilfire festival, she felt a flicker of belonging, the garden a mirror to her resilient spirit. Yet Clinton's whispers haunted her, his accusations of weakness echoing the Wolfscar Pack's scorn. Her wolfless status made her a target, her presence in Samuel's life a scandal in Bayou Veil's jazz-filled streets. The garden's wards pulsed faintly, protective, but Kate wondered if her gift could truly anchor a king whose spirit was fractured by the Obsidian Claw. The humid air carried distant festival drums, a reminder of her exile from the pack's heart. She tended the flowers daily, their glow strengthening under her touch, her empathy a quiet rebellion against her shame. Samuel's gesture lingered in her mind, his trust a spark that warmed her despite the cold brick of the mansion. She caught glimpses of him watching from the archway, his dark eyes softer, the Claw's torment eased by her presence. The garden became their silent pact, a sanctuary where Kate's gift flourished, her connection to Samuel deepening. Each bloom she saved felt like a step toward proving her worth. Yet Clinton's schemes loomed, a storm gathering in Bayou Veil's humid shadows. Kate's heart clung to the garden's peace, hoping it could withstand the chaos threatening to engulf them both.
As the full moon loomed, the mansion's air grew heavy, the Obsidian Claw's influence tightening its grip on Samuel. His mood swung from brooding silence to sharp commands, the humid corridors echoing with his restless pacing. Kate's empathy sensed the artifact's chaos surging, a storm brewing in his fractured spirit. Her presence in the library eased his pain, her voice a steady anchor as she read. But Samuel's fear of losing control grew. He snapped at her one evening, his eyes wild. "Leave me," he growled, turning to the hearth, his shoulders rigid with guilt and dread. Kate retreated, the mansion's warded walls amplifying her isolation. Her gift, once a source of shame, now felt vital, yet inadequate against the Claw's power. She wandered to the garden, the moon-petal flowers dim under the humid sky, mirroring her uncertainty. The Wolfscar Pack's rejection had taught her to shrink, but Samuel's pain called to her empathy, urging her to stay despite the danger. Bayou Veil's distant jazz felt mocking, a reminder of her exile. She overheard guards whispering of the Claw's toll, their grim faces reflecting the kingdom's unease. Samuel's torment was no secret, and Clinton's schemes fueled rumors of a weakened king. Her heart ached, torn between fear of his volatile shifts and a fierce need to help. Her gift stirred, a quiet insistence that she could reach him, even as the mansion's wards hummed with warning. The full moon's approach cast a pall over Bayou Veil, the city's flames flickering nervously. Kate stood at her window, the bayou's mist curling below, her resolution hardening. Samuel's pain was a hurricane, her empathy a fragile candle, but she couldn't abandon him. The mansion's silence pressed against her, a challenge to her courage, as the Claw's shadow loomed ever closer.
Lee found Kate in the garden, his stoic face etched with worry under the humid moonlight. "The king's affliction is worse than you know," he said, his voice low. "The Obsidian Claw fractures his spirit, turning him into a shadow beast on the full moon, a creature of rage with no reason." Kate's empathy caught the beta's sorrow,
his years of guarding Samuel's secret a heavy burden. The bayou's mist swirled, the mansion's wards humming as Lee warned her to stay away during the moon's peak, his eyes pleading. He'd kill anything in his path, even you. Kate's heart pounded, the reality of Samuel's torment sinking in. Her gift had calmed hounds and fawns, but a shadow beast was beyond her imagining. Yet her empathy recoiled at abandoning him, the memory of his softened gaze in the library fueling her resolve. The garden's moon-petal flowers glowed faintly, their resilience urging her to act despite the danger. Bayou Veil's distant jazz pulsed, a reminder of the world she'd lost, but also of her strength. "Why does he keep me here?" she asked, her voice trembling. Lee's gaze softened, a rare crack in his stoicism. "Your presence eases him, but the claw's power is relentless. Stay in your room tomorrow night, no matter what you hear." He left, his footsteps fading into the mansion's silence, leaving Kate with the weight of his warning and her own defiant heart. The humid air pressed against her, the bayou's shadows deepening as the full moon neared. Kate's empathy surged, a quiet roar against her fear. She couldn't hide while Samuel suffered, her gift a beacon in the claw's darkness. The mansion's wards seemed to pulse in rhythm with her resolve, urging her toward a choice that could save or destroy her.
The full moon hung over Bayou Veil, a luminous orb casting silver light through the mansion's windows. Kate stood in her room, the bayou's mist curling below, when Samuel's screams began, raw, bone-shattering cries echoing from the undercroft. They weren't a wolf's howl, but a sound of pure agony, tearing at reality itself. Her empathy recoiled, the claw's chaos a tidal wave of pain she felt through their fragile bond. Lee's warning rang in her ears, "Stay in your room no matter what you hear." But her gift demanded action, a compulsion to soothe the king's torment. She slipped through the mansion's darkened corridors, the wards humming faintly, the humid air thick with the scent of blood and magic. Each scream guided her to the undercroft, her heart hammering as fear clashed with resolve. The Wolfscar pack had called her useless, but her empathy had eased Samuel's pain before. Now it urged her to face the beast, her courage a quiet rebellion against her past. The bayou's distant drums pulsed, grounding her as she descended into the mansion's depths. The undercroft chamber's iron door, banded with silver, shuddered under the beast's assault, its roars shaking the stone. Kate's hands trembled as she peered through the barred window, her breath catching at the sight. A writhing mass of shadow, bones snapping, tendrils lashing the walls. Her empathy sensed Samuel trapped within, his spirit fracturing. She pressed against the door, whispering, "Samuel, it's me," her voice a lifeline in the claw's storm. The beast's red eyes locked on her, a hungry snarl building. Kate stood her ground, her gift pushing outward, a wave of calm against the chaos. The mansion's wards flared, as if amplifying her resolve. She chose madness over safety, her empathy a beacon to reach the man within the beast, risking everything in Bayou Veil's haunted night.
The iron door groaned as the shadow beast lunged, its red eyes burning with rage. Kate's empathy surged, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. "Samuel, I know you're in there," she said, pressing her palm against the cold metal, her gift pouring calm into the claw's chaos. The beast paused, its head cocked, her scent, a mix of chamomile and clean earth, cutting through its torment. The mansion's wards pulsed, amplifying her presence, the humid air thick with magic as the beast's roars softened to pained whimpers. It lunged again, but not to attack. The massive form collapsed at her feet, shadows receding like smoke, bones cracking back into human shape. Samuel lay naked on the stone, sweat and blood streaking his skin, his dark eyes human again,
filled with shame and vulnerability. "The claw! It's tied to my blood, my father's death. It feeds on power, breaks me." Kate knelt, her empathy a steady current, soothing his lingering pain. "I'm here," she whispered, her touch gentle on his shoulder. His confession hung in the undercroft silence, the bayou's mist seeping through a high grate. Kate's heart ached. Her gift no longer useless, but vital, a bridge to his fractured soul. Their bond solidified, a promise forged in the claw's darkness, her courage alight in Bayou Veil's haunted night. Samuel's gaze held hers, gratitude and awe replacing his torment. Their connection, a defiance of the artifact's power. The mansion's wards quieted, the humid air settling as Kate helped Samuel rise. Her empathy had tamed the beast, proving her strength to herself and him. Yet Clinton's schemes loomed, a threat to their fragile peace, the bayou's shadows whispering of challenges yet to come.
Whispers of Kate's bravery spread through Bayou Veil, the Wolfscar pack's perception shifting as servants murmured in the mansion's kitchens. Her empathy had tamed the shadow beast, a feat no alpha could claim. Yet Lord Clinton seized the moment, spinning tales of Samuel's weakness to incite rogue factions. Kate sensed the growing unrest through her gift, the humid air carrying tension from the city's jazz-filled streets. In the library, Samuel kept her close, her presence easing the Obsidian Claw's chaos, his dark eyes softer but wary of the brewing storm. Kate's heart swelled with purpose, though her wolfless shame lingered, a shadow in the mansion's torchlight. The pack's elders, led by Clinton, met in secret, their voices dripping with disdain for a king swayed by an omega. Kate overheard their murmurs through a cracked door, her empathy catching their ambition like a bitter scent. She stood straighter, her gift no longer a secret, but a weapon. Yet fear gnawed at her. Could she withstand the pack's judgment? The mansion's wards hummed, as if urging her to hold fast, the bayous mist a reminder of her isolation. "Clinton's using you to undermine me," Samuel said, his voice low as they sat by the hearth. "Your strength threatens him." Kate's breath caught, his faith in her a spark against her doubt. "I'm no warrior," she replied, but her empathy flared, sensing his trust. Their bond deepened, a quiet defiance against the growing unrest in Bayou Veil. The city's enchanted flames flickered nervously, reflecting the pack's unease. Kate's courage had changed her place, but Clinton's schemes cast a long shadow, threatening to unravel the fragile peace she and Samuel had forged in the mansion's haunted halls.
In the mansion's great hall, Lord Clinton and his old guard alphas confronted Samuel, their stern faces lit by torchlight. "Your Majesty, this Omega weakens you," Clinton declared, gesturing at Kate with contempt. "The claw's chaos grows, and the pack see a king lost to a wolfless girl." His voice was smooth, but Kate's empathy caught his ambition, a venomous thread in the humid air. The alphas nodded, citing tradition. A king's mate must be an alpha, not an omega. Samuel's eyes blazed, the claw's power flaring, but he stood firm, his hand brushing Kate's in silent support. Kate's heart pounded, her wolfless status a wound reopened by their scorn. Yet her gift sensed Samuel's resolve, his belief in her strength, anchoring her. "She is my ally," Samuel growled, his voice a thunderclap. "Her presence steadies me." The hall gasped, the declaration a defiance of centuries-old pack law. Clinton's face twisted, his plan to fracture Samuel's rule faltering, but his eyes glittered with renewed schemes. "We demand her banishment," an old alpha barked, his voice a growly challenge. Kate stood tall, her empathy a quiet fire against their judgment. "I am no threat," she said, her voice clear, "but I will not abandon my king." The words stunned the hall, her courage a spark in Bayou Veil's tense air, the torchlight casting her shadow large. The confrontation escalated tensions, the city's jazz pulsing with unrest. Clinton retreated, but his silence was a brewing storm, his allies whispering of rebellion. Kate and Samuel stood united, their bond a beacon against the pack's traditions, but the elders' challenge had set a dangerous stage, the mansion's wards humming with the weight of what was to come.
Kate stood in the hidden garden, the moon petal flowers glowing faintly under the humid moonlight, her empathy sensing Bayou Veil's growing unrest. Clinton's challenge had branded her a weakness, her wolfless status a weapon against Samuel's rule, yet her gift, tied to an ancient prophecy, felt like a calling, urging her to stand by the king. She grappled with her role, the pack's scorn a familiar sting, but Samuel's faith in her sparked a new resolve. The mansion's wards pulsed, as if affirming her strength, the bayous mist a reminder of her journey from outcast to ally. She recalled the prophecy's whispers, overheard from pack's ears, and Omega's empathy would heal a fractured king. Kate's heart raced. Her gift was no longer useless, but fated, a power Clinton feared. She vowed to face the pack's judgment, her empathy a shield against their disdain. The garden's flowers seemed to nod, their glow brighter under her touch, a sign of her growing strength in this mystical city. "We face them together," Samuel said, finding her in the garden, his voice steady despite the claw's lingering chaos. "You're not my weakness, you're my salvation." Kate's breath caught, his words igniting her courage. "I'll stand with you," she replied, her voice firm, her empathy flaring with purpose. Their hands clasped, a silent pact in the humid air, the mansion's torchlight casting their shadows as one. Bayou Veil's jazz pulsed with tension, the city bracing for the coming ritual in the sunken valley. Kate's resolve hardened, her gift a beacon against Clinton's schemes. She was no longer the pack's outcast, but a woman ready to prove her worth, her empathy a strength that could reshape the kingdom's future in the face of gathering storms.
The sunken valley loomed, a natural amphitheater where the Wolf's Car Pack would gather for a ritual to address rogue threats. But Kate's empathy sensed Clinton's true intent, a trap to seize power using the Obsidian Claw. She and Samuel prepared in the mansion's library, poring over ancient tomes for clues to counter the artifact's chaos. Her gift detected rogue seers in Clinton's ranks, their dark magic a shadow in Bayou Veil's humid air. Kate insisted on attending the ritual, her resolve unshaken. "They see me as your weakness," she said. "Let them see my strength." Samuel's eyes, clouded with worry, met hers. "It's dangerous, Kate. Clinton will exploit the claw." His voice was gruff, but his hand lingered on hers, their bond a steady current against the artifact's torment. Kate's empathy flared, sensing his fear, not for himself, but for her. "I've faced danger since I fell into your arms," she replied, her voice soft but firm. "I won't hide now." The mansion's wards hummed as if approving her courage, the bayou's mist curling outside. Lee coordinated the royal guards, his stoic face tense as he briefed them on rogue threats. Kate's gift caught his unspoken dread. Clinton's seers could wield the claw's cower against Samuel. She studied the prophecy's texts, her empathy guiding her to a ritual bond that might counter the artifact. The city's enchanted flames flickered, Bayou Veil bracing for the coming storm. The ritual loomed, the valley's humid air thick with anticipation. Kate's heart pounded, her gift a quiet roar against the fear of failure. She and Samuel stood united, their bond a shield against Clinton's schemes, the mansion's torchlight casting their resolve in sharp relief as they prepared to face the pack in the sunken valley's mystic glow.
In the sunken valley, the ritual began under a bruised purple sky, Bayou Veil's enchanted flames casting eerie light across the gathered wolves. Clinton addressed the pack, his voice feigning concern for rogue threats, but Kate's empathy caught his malice, a dark thread tied to the Obsidian Claw. A seer, cloaked in shadow, approached with a silver talisman, its dark magic pulsing to trigger Samuel's shift. Kate's heart raced, her gift, sensing the claw's chaos surging within him, the humid air thick with danger as rogue seers moved among the crowd, their eyes glinting with intent. Samuel clutched the talisman, tradition demanding he accepted, but his knuckles whitened, pain flashing in his eyes. Kate's empathy screamed. The artifact's power was a catalyst, forcing the shadow beast to rise in daylight. Clinton's voice boomed, "The king loses control," as Samuel's body contorted, black shadows bleeding from his skin. The pack recoiled, rogue seers drawing silver blades, their intent clear, to slay the beast and crown Clinton's savior. Lee and the guards formed a protective circle, outnumbered in the valley's chaos. Kate threw herself at Samuel, wrapping her arms around him, her cheek pressed against his back as he spasmed. "Fight it, Samuel," she cried, her voice raw, her empathy pouring calm into the claw's storm. The valley's flames flickered wildly, the pack frozen as her gift battled the artifact's chaos, a beacon of peace in the rising darkness. Her touch anchored him, but the seers advanced, their blades gleaming, the humid air heavy with their dark magic. The clash of steel rang out, Lee's guards fighting desperately. Kate held fast, her empathy a lifeline, sensing Samuel's spirit buried beneath the beast. The valley's mystic energy pulsed, amplifying her gift, as she fought to save the king from Clinton's trap, her courage a light against the encroaching shadows.
Kate clung to Samuel, her arms locked around his neck, her empathy a torrent against the Obsidian Claw's chaos. "Come back to me," she whispered, her voice steady despite the valley's chaos, pouring memories of the garden's flowers, the library's warmth, and their shared bond into his fracturing soul. The shadow beast roared, its red eyes flickering, but her gift, prophetic, unyielding, cut through, a calm anchoring his humanity. The sunken valley's flames steadied, the pack watching in stunned silence as the shadows receded, Samuel's form shrinking back to human, sweat-soaked and trembling. He collapsed into her lap, his dark eyes clearing, filled with awe and vulnerability. "You stopped it!" he rasped, his voice raw. Kate's empathy held him, her touch easing the claw's lingering pain, their bond a lifeline in Bayou Veil's humid air. The pack gasped, Clinton's face twisting with fury as his seers faltered, their blades lowering. Kate's gift had exposed his scheme, her courage proving her power to a kingdom that had called her nothing. "Treason!" Samuel declared, pointing at Clinton, his voice weak but commanding. The pack turned, their loyalty shifting as they saw the truth, and Omega had saved their king. Clinton's seers tried to flee, but the Alphas surrounded them, their faces dark with betrayal. The valley's mystic energy pulsed, as if affirming Kate's role, the enchanted flames glowing brighter. Kate cradled Samuel, her heart pounding with relief and defiance. Her empathy, once mocked, had quelled the claw's chaos, saving not just Samuel, but the kingdom. Clinton's plan lay in ruins, the pack's eyes now on Kate, not as a weakness, but as a savior. The humid valley air settled, Bayou Veil's future shifting with her courage, their bond a beacon in the fading storm.
Lord Clinton's imprisonment in the mansion's undercroft sent shockwaves through Bayou Veil, his rogue seers disgraced and stripped of power. The Wolfscar Pack's perception of Kate shifted, her empathy now whispered as a prophetic gift, not a flaw. In the Great Hall, torchlight flickered on the faces of loyal Alphas, their eyes on Kate with newfound respect. Samuel leaned on her presence, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a dull ache, her touch a balm that steadied his spirit. The humid air carried relief, but Kate's heart still bore the scars of rejection, her wolfless past a shadow in the mansion's warded halls. Clinton's allies, once stern traditionalists, bowed their heads, their schemes crumbling under the weight of Kate's courage. Her empathy sensed their shame, a bitter thread in the city's pulse, as whispers of her taming the shadow beast spread. She stood beside Samuel, her gift a quiet strength, no longer hidden but revered. The mansion's wards hummed softly, as if celebrating her victory, the bayou's mist curling outside like a protective veil. "You've changed everything," Samuel said, his voice low as they stood by the hearth. "You see you now." Kate's throat tightened, his faith in her a warmth against her doubt. "I only wanted to help you," she replied, her empathy flaring, sensing his gratitude. Their bond deepened, a partnership forged in defiance of the Claw's torment and Clinton's betrayal. Bayou Veil's jazz pulsed with renewed hope, the enchanted flames glowing steadily. Kate's courage had reshaped the pack's heart, her gift a beacon in the mansion's Gothic halls. Yet the memory of Clinton's schemes lingered, a reminder of the fragility of their peace, as Kate and Samuel faced a kingdom ready to embrace a new era under their united strength.
In the hidden garden, under a humid moon, Kate performed a ritual bond guided by ancient tomes, her empathy pulsing with prophetic power. The Obsidian Claw's chaos had weakened, and as she chanted, a silvery light enveloped her, her latent wolf stirring. Her body shimmered, transforming into a sleek silver wolf, its eyes holding her compassion and strength. She was no longer wolfless, her gift now a bridge between her human heart and her beast, a fulfillment of the prophecy. The bayou's mist swirled, the mansion's wards flaring as if blessing her awakening. Kate's wolf paced the garden, moon-petal flowers glowing brighter under her presence, her empathy a radiant force. The Wolfscar pack's scorn, her father's disdain, Leora's pity, all faded in the face of her newfound power. She felt Samuel's awe through their bond, his dark eyes watching from the archway, the Claw's torment eased by her transformation. The humid air carried Bayou Veil's distant jazz, a celebration of her rebirth in the city's mystical heart. "My queen," Samuel murmured, kneeling beside her wolf, his hand brushing her silver fur. "You're whole now." Kate's wolf nuzzled him, her empathy sensing his relief, their bond a steady current. "I was always whole," she thought, her wolf's voice a silent vow, "but now they'll see it." The garden's blooms pulsed, as if echoing her strength, the bayou's energy alive with her power. Her transformation marked a turning point, her wolf a symbol of her prophetic role. Kate stood taller, her empathy and beast intertwined, ready to lead beside Samuel. Bayou Veil's enchanted flames burned brighter, the city embracing her as a queen, her past shame a distant memory in the mansion's warded sanctuary.
In Bayou Veil's grand square, Samuel declared Kate his queen before the Wolfscar pack, the enchanted flames casting a golden glow over the humid crowd. Clad in simple white, Kate stood on the dais, her silver wolf's aura radiant, defying centuries of tradition. The pack's eyes, once filled with scorn, now held awe, her empathy a revered gift. Her father and Leora stood in the front, their faces a mix of regret and pride. Her father's gaze softened, Leora's tears joyful. The mansion loomed behind, its wards humming, as Samuel's voice rang out, rejecting old laws for a new era. "This woman is my salvation," Samuel declared, his hand clasping Kate's, his dark eyes warm. "She is your queen." The crowd gasped, the city's jazz swelling in approval, the humid air alive with hope. Kate's empathy sensed the pack's shift, their loyalty turning from tradition to her strength. Clinton's downfall had cleared the path, her courage proving her worth beyond her wolf's awakening. "You've given me a kingdom," Samuel whispered, his voice for her alone, the Claw's chaos a faint echo. Kate smiled, her heart full. "And you've given me a home," she replied, her empathy flaring, their bond a beacon in Bayou Veil's night. The pack cheered, their voices a tide of acceptance, the enchanted flames dancing higher. The ceremony marked a new dawn, the mansion no longer a cage, but a symbol of unity. Kate's transformation from outcast to queen reshaped the pack's heart, her prophetic gift a light against the shadows of tradition. Bayou Veil's streets pulsed with celebration, the bayou's mist curling softly as Kate and Samuel stood united. Their rule, a promise of compassion and strength in a kingdom reborn.
Kate and Samuel reformed the kingdom, establishing a council of hunters, seers, and omegas, their voices equal under the mansion's torchlit halls. Kate's empathy shaped policies, valuing compassion over dominance, the Wolfscar pack embracing a balance unknown in their history. The antebellum mansion, once cold, buzzed with life, its wards pulsing with warmth as pack members gathered, their laughter echoing through Bayou Veil's humid air. The city's enchanted flames burned steadily, a sign of stability, the bayou's moss a living testament to their new era. Kate walked the mansion's corridors, her silver wolf's aura a quiet presence, her gift guiding disputes with a touch or a word. She sensed the pack's trust, their respect a stark contrast to her past rejection. Samuel worked beside her, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a manageable ache, his guilt easing under her influence. The city's jazz pulsed with hope, the streets alive with wolves united by her vision. "We're building something new," Samuel said, his voice warm as they stood in the library, tomes open to plans for the future. "Because of you," Kate's empathy flared, sensing his pride. "Because of us," she corrected, her hand on his, their bond a foundation for the kingdom. The mansion's hearth glowed, its light a mirror to their shared purpose. Bayou Veil thrived, its mystic energy aligned with Kate's prophetic gift. The pack's old traditions faded, replaced by a culture of empathy and community. Kate's role as queen was no longer questioned, her past as a wolfless omega a story of triumph. The bayou's mist curled softly, the city's flames a beacon of peace, as Kate and Samuel led their people into a future where strength was measured by heart, not claw.
Kate stood in the garden, her hand resting on her swollen belly, the moon petal flowers glowing under Bayou Veil's humid sky. Her empathy sensed the child within, a spark of her prophetic gift, disproving the pack's lie that she was barren. The mansion's wards hummed softly, as if blessing the air, the bayou's mist curling with promise. Samuel wrapped his arms around her, his touch warm, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a faint echo. The city's jazz pulsed gently, a lullaby for the future they were building. The pack celebrated the news, their cheers echoing through the square, the enchanted flames dancing with joy. Kate's father approached, his eyes heavy with regret. "I was wrong about you," he said, his voice breaking. Leora hugged her, tears streaming, her pride a balm to Kate's old wounds. Her empathy sensed their sincerity, the pack's unity a testament to her transformation from outcast to queen. "She's restless," Kate murmured, feeling a kick, her silver wolf stirring within. "She has your spirit," Samuel replied, kissing her temple, his dark eyes free of torment. Their bond, forged in the claw's darkness, now shone with hope. The mansion a home filled with warmth. Kate's gift, once mocked, was the kingdom's strength, her child a symbol of their new era. Bayou Veil's streets buzzed with anticipation, the bayou's energy alive with the promise of the air. Kate's empathy guided the pack, her wolf a guardian of their peace. The prophecy had come true. An Omega's gift had healed a king and kingdom. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the humid air soft, as Kate and Samuel prepared for their child, their love a beacon in a city transformed by compassion and strength.
The kingdom flourished under Kate and Samuel's rule, Bayou Veil a vibrant hub of unity and compassion. The Wolfscar pack thrived, their council a blend of voices, guided by Kate's prophetic empathy. The antebellum mansion, once a cage, was now a bustling court, its wards pulsing with life as wolves gathered, their laughter mingling with the city's jazz. The Obsidian Claw's chaos was a dull ache, Samuel's spirit steady with Kate's presence, their bond a foundation for peace. The bayou's mist curled softly, the enchanted flames a steady glow. Kate walked the city streets, her silver wolf's aura radiant, her empathy resolving disputes with a gentle touch. The pack revered her, her past as a wolfless omega a legend of triumph. She sensed their loyalty, a warmth that erased her old scars. Samuel ruled beside her, his guilt over his father's death fading, the Claw's power no longer a prison but a challenge they faced together. "You've given me peace," Samuel said, standing on the mansion's balcony, the humid air soft against their skin. "And a kingdom worth ruling." Kate smiled, her hand in his, her empathy flaring with love. "We've built this together," she replied, her wolf stirring, a guardian of their shared vision. The city's flames danced, Bayou Veil alive with their legacy. The kingdom stood strong, old traditions replaced by a culture valuing heart over claw. Kate's role as queen was unshakable, her gift and wolf a beacon for the pack. The bayou's energy pulsed with hope, the mansion's torchlight a symbol of their eternal bond. Kate and Samuel, once outcasts in their own ways, ruled as one, their love and strength reshaping Bayou Veil into a haven of peace and unity.
A rogue seer faction emerged in Bayou Veil, seeking the Obsidian Claw to destabilize the kingdom. Kate's prophetic empathy sensed their dark intent, a shadow weaving through the city's humid streets. From the mansion's balcony, she and Samuel watched the enchanted flames flicker nervously, the bayou's mist thick with unease. Her gift pinpointed the rogues' lair in the swamps, their magic a twisted echo of the Claw's chaos. Samuel's jaw tightened, his dark eyes wary, but Kate's resolve steadied him, their bond a shield against the rising threat. She met with the council, her silver wolf's aura commanding respect, her empathy guiding their strategy. "The seers want the Claw to fracture us," she said, her voice clear, sensing their fear. The pack's hunters nodded, their trust in her absolute, a far cry from her wolfless days. The mansion's wards hummed, as if bracing for conflict, the city's jazz a tense undercurrent in the humid air. Samuel coordinated with Lee, his beta's stoic face grim as they planned a patrol. Kate's gift caught Lee's worry. The rogue's magic could rival the Claw's power. "We'll face them together," she told Samuel, her hand on his, her empathy flaring with determination. His eyes softened, the Claw's chaos eased by her presence, their bond a beacon in the gathering storm. Bayou Veil braced for conflict, the bayou's shadows hiding dangers. Kate's empathy, once dismissed, was now the kingdom's guide, her wolf ready to protect their peace. The mansion's torchlight cast her resolve in sharp relief, the city's flames pulsing with her strength. The rogues were a test, but Kate and Samuel stood united, their rule a promise to defend the kingdom they'd built in the heart of Bayou Veil's mystic night.
Kate trained with the Wolfscar pack in the mansion's courtyard, her silver wolf weaving through drills, her empathy calming tensions among hunters. The humid air carried the scent of bayou moss, the city's jazz a steady pulse as she led with quiet authority. Her gift sensed each wolf's fears, her touch or words soothing them, her leadership a blend of compassion and strength. Samuel watched, his dark eyes proud, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a faint hum under her influence. Their bond deepened, a shield against the rogue threat looming in Bayou Veil's shadows. The pack's trust in Kate grew, their loyalty a stark contrast to her outcast past. She sparred with Leora, her sister's silver wolf graceful, but no longer superior. Their reconciliation a quiet joy. "You've changed us," Leora said, her voice warm, and Kate's empathy caught her pride, healing old wounds. The mansion's wards pulsed, as if blessing their unity, the bayou's mist curling softly around the courtyard. Samuel joined her one evening, his leather-clad form a steady presence. "You're their heart now," he said, his hand brushing hers. The claw's torment eased. Kate smiled, her wolf stirring. "And you're mine," she replied, their bond a current of love and strength. The pack's drills continued, their cohesion a testament to her leadership, the city's flames burning brighter with hope. Bayou Veil's streets buzzed with purpose, the kingdom united against the rogues. Kate's empathy and wolf were no longer questioned, her role as queen a beacon for the pack. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the humid air alive with their shared resolve. The rogues' threat loomed, but Kate and Samuel's bond was unbreakable, their love a foundation for the battles ahead in the city's mystical heart.
Kate led a patrol into Bayou Veil swamps, her empathy pinpointing the rogue seer's lair, a hidden circle of twisted oaks pulsing with dark magic. Her silver wolf moved silently, Samuel's black wolf at her side, their bond a steady current in the humid air. The city's enchanted flames dimmed in the distance, the bayou's mist thick with the scent of decay and rogue power. Her gift sensed the seer's intent, to wield the Obsidian Claw against the kingdom, her resolve hardening as the pack followed, their trust absolute. The lair erupted in chaos as the seers unleashed shadow tendrils, their magic a twisted echo of the claw's chaos. Kate's empathy countered it, her presence calming the pack's fear, her wolf's snarls fierce but controlled. Samuel fought beside her, his beast a force of raw power, their unity a symbol of the kingdom's strength. The bayou's mud sucked at their paws, the air heavy with dark energy, but Kate's gift held firm, a beacon in the storm. "Focus on the seers," Kate called, her voice cutting through the fray, her empathy guiding the pack's strikes. A seer lunged, his blade glinting, but her wolf dodged, her claws raking his side. Samuel roared, pinning another, the claw's chaos leashed by their bond. The pack fought as one, their cohesion a testament to Kate's leadership, the bayou's oaks trembling with their victory. The battle ended swiftly, the seer's magic faltering under Kate's empathy. The lair's dark energy dissipated, the bayou's mist clearing as the pack stood triumphant. Kate's wolf nuzzled Samuel's, their bond alight in the humid night. Bayou Veil's flames flickered in the distance, the kingdom's strength proven, Kate's place as queen undeniable in the face of the rogue threat.
The rogue seers knelt in the swamp, their magic broken, the Obsidian Claw's stolen talisman reclaimed by Samuel. Kate sensed their fear, her silver wolf pacing as she offered mercy. "Join us or leave Bayou Veil," she said, her voice firm, her gift soothing their defiance. Most bowed, their loyalty shifting, a testament to her compassionate strength. The pack cheered, their howls echoing through the bayou, the humid air alive with victory. The city's enchanted flames burned brighter, a sign of restored peace. Samuel stood beside her, his dark eyes proud, the claw's chaos a faint echo. "You've saved us again," he said, his hand on her shoulder, their bond a steady pulse. Kate's empathy flared, sensing the pack's unity, her past as a wolfless omega a distant memory. The bayou's oaks stood sentinel, their moss swaying as if in approval, the mansion's wards pulsing faintly in the distance. The pack escorted the remaining rogues from Bayou Veil, their defeat a message to any who would challenge the new order. Kate's leadership had turned the tide, her gift reshaping the kingdom's heart. Her father approached, his voice low. "I'm proud of you," he said, a rare admission that warmed her. Leora nodded, her eyes bright, the pack's respect a balm to Kate's old scars. Bayou Veil streets buzzed with celebration, the jazz swelling as the pack hailed their queen. The bayou's mist curled softly, the enchanted flames a beacon of hope. Kate's empathy and wolf had proven her strength, her role as a leader cemented. The kingdom stood stronger, the rogue threat vanquished, As Kate and Samuel prepared for a future where compassion ruled, their bond alight in the city's mystical night.
Kate's actions cemented her as queen. In the mansion's great hall, she addressed the council, her silver wolf's aura radiant, her gift guiding policies that valued all wolves, hunters, seers, omegas. The humid air carried the city's jazz, a pulse of unity, as the pack embraced her vision. Her pregnancy progressed, the child's inherited empathy a promise of a compassionate future, the bayous mist soft with hope. The pack's elders, once skeptical, now sought her counsel, their respect a stark contrast to her outcast days. Kate's empathy sensed their trust, her wolf a guardian of their peace. Samuel stood beside her, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a manageable ache, his pride in her evident. "You've changed our world," he said, his voice warm, the mansion's torchlight glowing on their joined hands. Her heart swelled, her past pain healed by their bond. Bayou Veil thrived, its streets alive with wolves united by Kate's legacy. The enchanted flames burned steadily, the bayou's energy aligned with her gift. She walked the city, her empathy soothing disputes, her wolf a symbol of strength and compassion. The pack's children played under her watchful eye, their laughter a testament to the kingdom's stability. The mansion was no longer a cage, but a home, its wards pulsing with life. Kate's legacy was etched in Bayou Veil's heart, her journey from wolfless Omega to Queen a story told in every pack den. The city's jazz sang of hope, the humid air soft with promise, as Kate's empathy and leadership ensured a future where all strengths were valued, her child the heir to a kingdom reborn.
Kate and Samuel's rule solidified. The Wolfscar pack flourished, their council a model of diversity, guided by Kate's prophetic empathy. The antebellum mansion buzzed with life, its warded halls filled with laughter, the humid air carrying the city's jazz as a song of peace. The Obsidian Claw's chaos was a faint hum, Samuel's spirit healed by Kate's presence, their bond a foundation for the kingdom's prosperity. Kate led with quiet authority, her silver wolf patrolling the city, her empathy resolving conflicts before they grew. The pack revered her, their loyalty a warm current she sensed daily, her wolfless past a legend of triumph. Samuel ruled beside her, his guilt over his father's death a distant memory. The claw no longer a prison, but a challenge they faced together. The bayou's mist curled softly, a protective veil around their reign. "We've built a home," Kate said, standing in the garden, the moon petal flowers glowing under her touch. Samuel's arms wrapped around her, his voice a low rumble. "And a legacy." Their bond pulsed, her empathy flaring with love, the city's flames dancing in approval. The pack's unity was unshakable, their trust in Kate absolute. Bayou Veil streets thrived, the enchanted flames a symbol of enduring peace. Kate's empathy and wolf guided the kingdom, her journey from outcast to queen complete. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the bayou's energy alive with their vision. Samuel and Kate stood as one, their rule a testament to compassion and strength, their bond eternal in a city transformed by love and unity.
The grand square erupted in celebration for Kate's coronation as queen. Clad in white, her wolf's aura radiant, Kate stood on the dais beside Samuel. The pack's cheers echoed, their eyes filled with hope, not scorn, as her father and Leora beamed from the front, their reconciliation a warmth in her heart. The mansion loomed behind, its wards pulsing with life, the city's jazz swelling in a triumphant chorus. Samuel raised their joined hands, his voice ringing. "This is your queen, the heart of our kingdom." The crowd roared, the humid air alive with unity, the bayou's mist curling softly. Kate's empathy sensed their love, her journey from outcast to revered leader complete. Her father approached, his voice soft. "I was blind," he said, his eyes wet. Leora hugged her, whispering, "You're our pride." The pack's acceptance healed Kate's old scars, her gift now their strength. The coronation was a new dawn, the pack united under Kate's vision. Samuel's dark eyes glowed with pride, the Obsidian Claw's chaos a faint echo. "You've given me everything," he murmured, his touch warm. Kate smiled, her empathy flaring. "We've built this together," she replied, their bond a light in Bayou Veil's night. The enchanted flames danced, the city alive with hope. The celebration spilled into the streets, jazz and laughter mingling in the humid air. Kate's coronation marked a shift, her wolf and empathy celebrated, the mansion a symbol of unity. Bayou Veil's mystic energy pulsed, the pack's future bright under her compassionate rule, her journey a testament to the power of heart over tradition.
In the mansion's library, Samuel sat by the hearth, his spirit no longer fractured. Kate's presence, her empathetic touch, had anchored him through countless moons. His guilt over his father's death fading under her love. The humid air carried the scent of old tomes, the city's jazz a soft pulse outside. His dark eyes, once haunted, now shone with peace, the mansion's wards humming softly, as if blessing their bond. Kate's silver wolf curled beside him, her gift a constant balm. She read to him, her voice weaving tales of hope, each word strengthening their connection. Samuel's hand brushed hers, his touch warm, the claw's torment a distant memory. "You've healed me," he said, his voice a low rumble, vulnerability raw in his gaze. Kate's empathy flared, sensing his gratitude, her heart full. "We've healed each other," she replied, her wolf stirring, a guardian of their shared peace. The pack noticed the change, their king no longer a figure of fear, but a leader tempered by compassion. Kate's gift had reshaped him, their bond a beacon in Bayou Veil's humid night. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the bayou's mist curling softly, as Samuel ruled with a clarity he'd never known, his strength now rooted in love. Bayou Veil thrived under their united rule, the enchanted flames steady, the city's pulse strong. Kate's empathy and Samuel's power were a perfect balance, their bond a testament to healing through connection. The library's quiet held their promise, the mansion no longer a cage, but a home. Their love, forged in the claw's darkness, was now a light guiding the kingdom, their peace eternal in Bayou Veil's mystic heart.
Kate walked the city's streets, her wolf's aura calming disputes, her empathy a beacon for wolves seeking guidance. The pack's children ran to her, their laughter a contrast to her outcast days, her gift a bridge to their hearts. Samuel watched, his dark eyes proud, the Obsidian Claw's chaos no threat beside her strength. "You're their soul," he said, his voice warm, their bond a steady current in the humid night. Kate's father and Leora joined her patrols, their pride evident, their past scorn replaced by love. "You've shown us what strength is," Leora said, her silver wolf nuzzling Kate's. Her empathy sensed their sincerity, her scars healed by their acceptance. The city's enchanted flames burned brightly, Bayou Veil alive with her vision of compassion and unity. The mansion was her home, its torchlight a symbol of her journey, from outcast to queen. Kate's wolf and empathy were no longer questioned, her role unshakable in the pack's heart. The bayou's energy pulsed with hope, the city's jazz a celebration of her acceptance. Kate stood tall, her past pain a distant memory, her strength a legacy that would guide Bayou Veil for generations.
Kate gave birth in the mansion's royal wing, the humid air soft as the pack gathered below, their cheers echoing through the veil. The child, a girl with Kate's spark, lay in her arms, a symbol of the kingdom's new era. Samuel knelt beside her, his dark eyes shining. "She's perfect," he murmured, his hand gentle on the child's head, their bond pulsing with love. The mansion's wards flared as if blessing the air, the city's flames dancing with joy. The pack crowded the square, their howls a chorus of hope, the jazz swelling in celebration. Kate's empathy sensed their unity, the child's gift a promise of a compassionate future. Her father and Leora stood close, their eyes wet with pride. The Wolfscar pack's old traditions fading in the face of her legacy. The bayou's energy pulsed, the humid air alive with the kingdom's renewed strength. "She'll carry your heart," Samuel said, his voice warm, his touch anchoring Kate. She smiled, her silver wolf stirring within, her empathy flaring with hope. "And your strength," she replied, their bond a beacon for the child. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the city's pulse steady, as the heir's birth marked the fulfillment of the prophecy. An Omega's gift reshaping the kingdom. Bayou Veil celebrated, the enchanted flames a radiant glow, the bayou's mist curling softly. Kate's journey from wolfless outcast to queen was complete, her child a testament to her strength. The pack's love surrounded her, their trust absolute, as she and Samuel prepared to guide their heir, their rule a promise of peace and compassion in a city transformed by love.
The antebellum mansion buzzed with life, its warded halls filled with laughter, the humid air carrying the city's jazz as a song of peace. The Obsidian Claw's chaos was a distant memory, Samuel's spirit healed by Kate's presence, their bond a foundation for the kingdom's stability. The bayou's mist curled softly, the enchanted flames a steady glow, reflecting a unified realm. Kate patrolled the city, her silver wolf a guardian, her empathy resolving conflicts with a gentle touch. The pack revered her, their loyalty a warm current she sensed daily, her wolfless past a legend of triumph. Samuel ruled beside her, his power tempered by compassion, the claw no longer a prison, but a relic of their shared strength. The city's streets thrived, wolves of all ranks united, their trust in Kate absolute. "Our kingdom is whole," Samuel said, standing on the mansion's balcony, the humid air soft against their skin. "Because of you." Kate's empathy flared, her hand in his, her wolf stirring. "Because of us," she replied, their bond a light in Bayou Veil's night. The pack's children played below, their laughter a testament to the kingdom's peace, the flames dancing in approval. Old traditions faded, replaced by a culture valuing heart over claw. Kate's legacy shone in Bayou Veil's vibrant streets, her empathy and wolf guiding the pack. The mansion's torchlight glowed, the bayou's energy alive with their vision. Samuel and Kate stood as one, their rule a testament to compassion and strength, their kingdom a haven of unity in a city transformed by their eternal bond.
Kate's journey from wolfless outcast to revered queen was complete, her gift and wolf a symbol of strength. The pack's trust surrounded her, their loyalty a warmth that erased her past scars. Samuel's hand rested on hers, his dark eyes free of torment, the claw's chaos a faint echo. "You gave me a world," he said, his voice a low rumble, their bond pulsing with love. Kate smiled, her empathy flaring, "And you gave me a home." The pack gathered below, their howls a chorus of unity, the city's flames dancing in celebration. Kate's child, cradled in the nursery, carried her gift, a promise of a compassionate future. The bayou's energy pulsed, aligned with her vision, the humid air soft with hope. The mansion, once a cage, was now a heart, its torchlight a testament to their eternal bond. Bayou Veil stood as a beacon of peace, its streets alive with wolves united by Kate and Samuel's rule. Her empathy, once dismissed, was the kingdom's strength, her wolf a guardian of their legacy. The city's jazz sang of triumph, the bayous mist a protective veil, as Kate and Samuel stood together, their love and strength eternal, their kingdom a haven, reshaped by compassion in the heart of Bayou Veil's mystic night.